One cause for tire blowouts is underinflation, usually caused by picking up a nail or some other puncture like that. So I'm going to install a tire pressure monitoring kit. This one's made by NLNE. That way I get a heads up if something's going on the road. Just a quick disclaimer, NLNE gave me this TPMS kit at no charge to test out, but I've been wanting one anyway. As usual, there'll be no fluff, no BS, and I'll shoot you straight. Here's everything that came out of the box from the kit that I received. We got 10 tire pressure monitoring sensors, the monitor display itself, a suction cup mount for it, a signal repeater in case your trailer is super long, a charging cord, and lock nuts and spare seals for the sensors. I've got way more sensors than I need, but they sell these kits with as few as 4, and the system can handle up to 43 sensors. Now let's get this thing set up. I'm not going to bore you with every spec and feature, but as we move along, we'll go over all the important things to avoid a problem on the road. Now we'll get it set up and programmed real quick. The display does not look flashy like this in real life, it's just the way the camera's picking it up. So on the display, this is the truck and this is the trailer. First we need to pick which axle we're going to monitor, and I'm picking this front axle on the trailer. The highest pressure this kit will monitor is up to 180 psi. And the lowest low pressure alarm setting you can use is 10 psi. It's also got an alarm for excessive tire temperature, which I've set to 160 degrees. In reality, you usually don't have to worry about excessive tire temperature, but if you have excessive tire temperature, it could be a sign of an underlying problem, like a dragging brake or bad wheel bearings, transferring heat from the wheel into the tire. It can also be caused by overloading your tires. If you run them for a prolonged period with more weight than they're rated for, even at the sufficient pressure, they can overheat and fail. The monitor's in the pairing mode, and we're going to pair this sensor for the passenger side position. It's this easy. Same for the driver's side. Now they're both connected, saying 0 psi and showing the temperature. Based on my use, I run 45 psi in the tires on this trailer. The tire pressure monitoring system doesn't need to know that though. It just needs to know when to set off the low and high pressure alarms. I'm setting the high pressure alarm to go off at 25% over the pressure I run. And I'm setting the low pressure alarm 15% below 45, which is 38. A couple of things about these sensors before we put them on. This end screws onto the existing valve stem, and it is flow through, so then you can then inflate or deflate through this end. Also, they come with good quality Maxell batteries, and the monitor will tell you when they're getting low. First, we'll put on this lock nut, screw on the sensor, and tighten up the lock nut with the included wrench. Now we got both monitors on, the trailer's hooked up. Let's put in the monitor and test this thing out. Okay, I got the monitor set up in my cell phone holder. It doesn't need a cord because it's rechargeable. There's the charging port. Alright, I got it down here in a more shady place, and as you can see, it's switching back and forth tire to tire about every 5 seconds, showing the PSI and the temperature. Okay, now we're going to do a real-world test. I'm going to take one of these tire deflators and put it on the driver's side tire to emulate a puncture. Well, I'm pretty impressed actually. It detected that air loss pretty darn quick. But if you notice, the pressure reading went from 45 to 35 really quick, almost instantaneously. The tire wasn't losing pressure that fast, but it's got a rapid detection mode, and I think it was losing air so fast it just couldn't get a stable reading.